Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode from the Lair. And I got a couple emails from some soldiers out there basically asking me, since I'd been on airborne status for so long, do I have any good, jump stories? And yes, I do. In fact, I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 videos, and we're going to call this Airborne Fiascos. Wow. All right, now there's a few concepts that you have to understand when you are airborne, or even if you're not airborne and you just want to know about it. Okay, when you're in the bird and you're going, you're in there to do a drop, when the red light is on, you do not jump, and when the green light comes on, you jump. I don't know why it's so hard to grasp, but some people have a hard time with that. Okay, another one, some lingo you need to understand. Mass tack, which is a mass tactical jump. Usually, I believe 2 or more aircraft, all jumping at the same time, usually in tactical formation, and everyone's wearing combat gear. Okay. Entanglements is exactly what that is. That's when 2 bubbas come together and they fucking can't get separated and shit goes fucking south from there. Okay, stealing another paratrooper's air. Basically, if you're here and a guy swings in below you, he's basically creating a vacuum between you and his chute, and then your chute will collapse and you will plummet past him until it opens. I've seen guys do this, I mean, they go right past each other until one fucking hits the ground, probably 50% harder than the other guy. It's you want to get away from that, and to do that, you do a slip or you steer. Now, the older chutes that I use, the Crash 10s, there's no toggles, there's no rigging up there to turn. You basically, grab the chute and, pull slips on the risers and modify the shape of the chute to try to steer it where you want it to go. Okay, not always successful, and if you do it wrong or you release your slip too quickly, you wind up doing this. Okay, and when landing like this, not a good thing because gravity always works, and that's how people get royally fucked up. Okay, now, I'm going to admit this now. Alright, I have hated jumping from the first time I did it till the last time I did it, alright? I quit counting my jumps at 100. Now, in Airborne School, you're supposed to count to 4, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. But when you're terrified and you're screaming like a bitch at the, top of your lungs, you last about, 4 to 5 seconds. So it's about the same thing, at least in my book. Another term that you need to realize that a lot of airborne units do is called in-flight rigging, and that's where you get all your combat equipment. You walk on the parachute, or you walk on the aircraft, and they have like a pallet of chutes and a pallet of reserves, and then they hand them out, and then while you're all packed in there like a bunch of sardine worms, you put all your shit on, and somehow it's supposed to be safe. Do people die doing that? I'm sure they do. For the most part, it is fairly safe. Because you don't hear about people burning in all the time. Now, I've never seen, well, I shouldn't say that. I've seen a partial burn in. I've never seen a 2-chute failure where a guy pulls one chute and then it doesn't work, and then he pulls his reserve and that doesn't work either, and then he does the streamer all the way to oblivion, basically. Never seen that. I've seen close to that, but they didn't really die. They got fucked up pretty good. Okay, race tracking is basically when you're in the bird, you're all rigged up, you are standing up ready to jump, and the weather conditions on the drop zone are not conducive to jumping, like too much winds, anything, and they basically will fly you around until the conditions improve, and then usually you jump. Sometimes they call it, not that often, and I can almost guarantee you, if you've ever been a paratrooper and you ever got caught in any race tracking, you probably had a higher than average rough landing. I'm just saying. Okay, next thing you want to know is a PLF, which is a parachute landing fall. That's basically where you slightly bend your knees, and when you make contact with the ground, you roll like a banana, and you distribute the force of a landing across your entire body, not just on your legs. Because contrary to popular belief, jumping in a combat parachute is not a civilian parachute. Okay, there's really no comfort involved, and it's designed to bring you from point A, which is somewhere above the ground, 1,200 feet, maybe higher, maybe lower, to the ground as fast as possible without breaking your bones or killing you. So the impact on the ground when you hit with a military parachute is the equivalent of jumping off of a garage. You know, it's like 8 feet drop. And it is hard on your body, especially when you do the PLF and you get slightly injured. Then you have to put all your shit on and walk 20 to 30 miles on top of an injury that you sustained while you jump. It all adds up, and a lot of paratroopers down the road wind up with fucked up knees, hips, backs, the whole deal, and I'm one of them. Okay, what's another one here? Chopper jumps. Okay, now I'm cool with like the aircraft thing, the C-130, the C-141s. I've never dropped a, jumped a C-17 yet. I've been rigged up, but they called it. Don't think I would like that because it's, that being in that bird is very unnerving. It's like being inside a flying gymnasium, and you have all of this crazy room, and it just, when you're used to, always being uncomfortable and cramped, and it sucks, and I'm used to that. I'm not used to comfort, and it throws off my game. Okay, chopper jumps. Now, like the Huey and the Black Hawk, you sit on the chopper, and they put a belt, from side to side while you're sitting with your legs hanging over the side. You're rigged in behind you to a D-ring, and then you have to fly up, to usually they jump between 8 and 1,200 feet. They take back the belt, and then they're like, they tell you to go, and they tap you on the shoulder, and you're supposed to squirm out on your own, and they fall out. Now, I have a severe problem with that. All right, I'm not cool with that. So I'd always tell a jump master, put me number one. When it's time to go, put your foot in the middle of my back and forcibly eject me from the aircraft. I don't need a warning. Just fucking do what you got to do. And it seemed to work out for me. Okay, so now we covered some of that stuff. Actually, there's a few more things. Okay, Jump Master School. All right, now I have a lot of jumps. I went to Jump Master School twice. Both times I was turned back because my paperwork was fucked up. Did I put up a big fuss? Not really, because after I jumped into Panama and I saw what the whole job entailed and the end result of actual airborne operations, it kind of, it took away the wind from my sail to go to Jump Master School. Though if I did go to Jump Master School, I have enough mass tack and all those other kind of jumps that I would probably, be really close to, getting the master wings. I don't know the regs now. I'm too long in the tooth for that, and I'm gonna probably be retired here shortly. So it is what it is. I didn't get a chance to do it. Is it breaking my heart? Not really. Okay. Now there's a big difference between jumping with the Ranger Regiment, jumping with the 82nd Airborne Division, and jumping with Special Forces. They're all different animals. Okay. The regiment, very professional. They don't fuck around, okay, and they handle their business. I did have some shitty exits and some shitty landings, but that's just par for the course. 82nd, at least from what I saw of them, they're pretty reckless. Okay, there's a reason why they get a 3 or 4 day weekend if they can go 82 days without killing a motherfucker on their post. Just saying. There's a reason that exists. It's not a stereotype. Now, Special Forces, their jumps are smaller, 6, 12, 18 guys, usually different types of exotic aircraft. They're very professional. A lot of times you carried a lot of extra bullshit. How they rigged it up is insane. I know. I didn't see any of that shit in manuals. I just figured it the fuck out. But, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't have a problem jumping with any Special Forces units or back with a regiment, period, bar none. Okay, so now we're 10 minutes into this and we're just covering like the first couple, stories here. All right, so we'll start off in the beginning. Airborne School. Now, this didn't really happen to me, but I was there when it happened. You know, you go through, you have 5 jumps in Airborne School. You do the tower or the fucking, the huge fucking cage towers. They drop your chute. It's like 100 feet if the winds are good. But literally, I saw this one guy. Like I jump, and now on Fort Benning, down the middle of the drop zone, they rototill the dirt, so it's fairly soft. At least they did it when I was there. How they're doing it now, I have no idea. But, I learned enough in Airborne School that it is best to land on the soft dirt, so I would slip my motherfucking ass off to get to it. And I landed in that dirt 5 out of 5 times. Not a problem. So we're going through the deal, and we do the jump. I had a good exit. And literally, when you step out of the bird, I had a good position. I stepped out, literally, I turned to the left and was like literally sitting in a reclining chair of air. And I went down, chute open, the whole deal. I land, get my chute, go through the whole deal. And I hear this guy yelling for help. He's like, help me, oh my God, I need an ambulance. I look up, his guy's not even on the ground yet. He's totally running with the wind. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And luckily for him, he hits an ambulance, like right into the side. I remember the guy sitting there, or he was standing there by the front door reading a novel. What it was, I don't know. But the guy hits the side of the ambulance. The wind still takes his chute, pulls him up over the top and over onto the other side. The guy puts his book down. The other guy gets out of the passenger seat. They walk around, take out a stretcher, and put the guy on there, and then put him in the ambulance. And they're waiting for the next dude. And I watched that, and I'm like, holy shit, that guy's probably royally fucked up. Hey, it's Airborne School. What are you gonna do? So I went and I turned in my shit. Okay, now the next day was our last jump, and this is like the graduation jump. All right, there's like 180 people in the stands watching this whole thing go down. Now, I do my jump. I land on the dirt, pick up my stuff, doing my deal. I got my parachute kit bag on. I'm walking back to the parachute collection point, and I hear this guy yelling for help. Like, help me, help me. And I look up, and this guy is like at 500 feet. So this guy steps out of the aircraft, chute opens, checks his chute, and what does he do? Lowers his equipment, because you have a rucksack and a lowering line. And what happens? That rucksack swings down and lands right into the canopy of a guy below him. So now you have a chute coming down, and dumbass is circling around the outside screaming for help. Nobody's going to help him. There's no Superman there. We're not going to fly up there and untangle him. They teach you what to do in these kind of situations, and he choked. I mean, typically you would release your lowering line for your rucksack and then just ride in what you got. But he's literally like screaming for help, and he did this for like maybe 100, 150 feet. Now, here are the bleachers. I'm at the far end of the bleachers, probably 50 meters away, right at the parachute collection point. Now, one of the black hats who's got a megaphone, and I call this guy Heckle. He was a black guy, East 7, skin as black as coal, and he had this long hooked nose like Heckle and Jekyll from back in the day, one of the cartoons. I know I'm aging myself, but fuck it, who cares? And he's up there with his megaphone. Now, there's families in the bleachers right there. And he's like, you dumbass! I hope you die! I done told you thousands! And I'm like sitting there just going, holy shit! Oh my God! But apparently at the last minute, the parachute swung low, and they both landed okay. And there was a little bit of a pushing match and some arguing. But, that's just soldier business. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. It's hurt feelings. I hope they bought each other a beer and got over it. But that's the difference between like the army of today and the army of 1988, basically. I mean, if you were to do that in front of the stands, in front of all those families, that guy would have been busted a rank, and he got a letter of reprimand, and a bunch of this crybaby hand-holding bullshit. And listen, when you're training men to fight, and go and conduct battle, and wage war, and, you know, play for keeps, because, you know, let's face it, you're at war, and you're there to kill them, make them run away, or cause them to quit. This isn't, there's no points, there's no penalties. It is what it is. First place you live, second place you're an invalid, third place you're dead, period. So, you know, they're weakening the force by fucking all this like namby-pamby bullshit. But hey, don't believe me, the guy who's been around for a long fucking time, seen 3 wars come and go and was almost killed in 2. What do I fucking know? All right, let's see. We got the Airborne School. We're at 15 minutes. Okay, I can throw one more in here. Okay, after Airborne School, my next 5 jumps were in RIP, which is Ranger Indoctrination Program at Fort Benning. When I was going through the 2 or 3 weeks of hell that you went through to get into the Ranger Battalion, and we did five jumps, 2-day, 3-night, all combat equipment. All right. When you jump in RIP, there's no fucking Hollywood jumps. In fact, I think maybe the entire time I was in the regiment, I maybe did 1 Hollywood jump. All the rest of the time, it's all combat equipment. Night or, no, usually it's night, combat equipment. So, we're doing the deal. We go through the whole fucking procedures. I fucking walk out of the aircraft. C-130, which is my favorite airframe to jump out of. I'm coming down. It's a little windy, It's roughly late spring, early summer. So we're down in Georgia, and you know how that is. You get those squalls pop up, and a little windy. And then down the middle of the drop zone in Benning at night in RIP, they had barrels, and they had fires in them, so you can actually see kind of, where the drop zone was, because it's black, it's dark. I mean, they're not fucking around. So I'm coming down, and I'm like, okay, and I'm tracking the ground. I'm like, okay, I'm moving at a pretty good clip. You never want to land, traveling with the wind, because you're going to get fucked up. So I do the proper slips, and I'm, still heading towards the barrel. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to hit that fucking barrel. So I do I do the double, still going towards the barrel, do a 3. Basically you reach up, you grab 3 handfuls of risers, 2, 3, and now I'm seriously, like, I think I'm going to miss it, but now my descent is a lot faster. So I let go 1, and I'm still fucking going for the barrel. I say, fuck it, there's nothing I could do. I grab the 3rd one, pull up my fucking legs to a nice, bent leg position, and I expect the worst. And I hit the ground. Luckily, it was in the rototilled portion, so I hit pretty fucking hard, did my PLF, and at the end of the PLF, my fucking helmet hit the fire barrel and knocked it fucking over. And what did the RI say? They're fucking yelling at me, don't let your chute get burned, motherfucker! So I jump up, and I'm like grabbing my chute, trying to keep it from fucking falling on the barrel, which I was successful. I fucking, gather up and go through my whole fucking deal. I get back to the chute collection point. They make me take the chute out, and then the riggers, there's 2 riggers that inspect the entire thing for any burn holes in it, because apparently that would have deadlined the chute. I'm not a rigger. I don't know if they could fix that or not, but apparently it was good to go, so I didn't get fucked up. So anyway, that's the first half of this fucking these jump videos. I'm glad you guys asked these questions, because there's a lot of funny stories, and maybe you can learn some shit, so you won't fuck yourself up if any of you guys go airborne. Because a lot of the shit you're gonna hear in these stories, you can't read them in any manuals, and you just got to learn it on your own. And it's better to hear it first and unfuck yourself than learning it on the fly and winding up with a stick up your ass in a tree landing, or stuck up to your fucking neck, head first in a water landing and die. Anyway, have a good evening. I'll talk to you later. Out.